right, guys. So here's the thing. A lot of news happening right now in mixed martial arts. And your boy DC is always on top of it. So I got a couple topics I want to discuss with you guys as we have been a little bit laid back since the rush of the Islam Makhachev interview, which was an interview full of sound bites. As you know, I love chatting with the champion. But first off, we got to talk about a fight that's supposed to happen in Islam's weight class. Guys, we have been watching The Ultimate Fighter. Conor McGregor and Michael Chandler are coaching on the show. They're supposed to fight at the end of the show. My voice is all jacked. I'm in the middle of wrestling camp right now. I've got 300 kids. I'm yelling at them. I'm screaming. But they're supposed to fight at the end of the show. But now Conor McGregor finds himself in one of those situations that he has started to kind of find himself in a little bit, or far too frequently for our liking as mixed martial arts fans. But for as concerning as his out of the octagon things are, one thing that also raises my ears and my eyebrows and everything else that makes me suspicious is the fact that now I'm hearing you don't want to fight Michael Chandler. What was the purpose? What was the purpose of The Ultimate Fighter? What was the purpose of taking The Ultimate Fighter, doing the show, and taking the fight? One of the holdups is that Conor still, at this point, has not gotten into the USADA testing pool. Michael Chandler, for himself, is trying to figure out why. What's taking so long? Get it done, my guy. I want the fight. Why does Conor now not want to fight Chandler? Especially in a fight that seems like it's pretty much tailor-made for him. I don't know if there's a better matchup for Conor in the top 5 of the lightweight division. You look at Mike and the way that he's operating, and he's making Twitter videos, and he's talking about Conor, and he's wondering what the holdup is, because Michael Chandler understands that he has to have this fight. When you get something that you truly enjoy, something precious, you make it dear to you. That's what Michael Chandler is doing right now. This Conor McGregor fight is dear to Michael Chandler. This Conor McGregor fight gets Michael Chandler paid more. Guys, there are times where you have these special athletes, these different guys that when you fight them, you know that the fight's going to do well, so you get paid more. That's the situation for Michael Chandler and Conor McGregor. Happened for me with John Jones initially. I had a fight purse for everyone else, but then I had a fight purse for when I fought John Jones, because John Jones and I would guaranteedly do 800, 700, 1,000 pay-per-view buys. So you got paid more. And that was even before the pay-per-view kicked in. So you constantly have these little risers in the contracts, and Michael Chandler understands that that riser from McGregor is bigger than anything else that he would get. He also has that for a fight against Khabib Nurmagomedov. So Chandler and his team, being very smart businessmen, negotiated higher fight purses for the biggest fights in the division and the biggest names in the game for him. He strategically put himself here, but now he's hearing that McGregor just don't want to do it. But how do you deal with a guy like McGregor who essentially moves to the beat of his own drum? I don't know what Chandler can do to make him move quicker into USADA, to make him agree to the fight faster. I guess just kind of talking shit to him might help, but I don't know if that's going to be enough. Mike's in a weird position. I spoke to him off the record today a little bit, just through text messages, and he's in a position where he's got to kind of just wait and see, because that's where he is. But my one bit of advice to him was, don't let the fight fall by the wayside. Do whatever you have to do in order to keep this fight together, because this is a fight that can really make you at a level that no one else in the fight game can do. It's the Ultimate Fighter has been the Ultimate Fighter, right? It's great to see Conor up there doing his thing, but then he picks all the beginners to fight the veterans. Now he hasn't won a fight yet. Spoiler alert. He hasn't won a fight yet on the Ultimate Fighter. It's like that choice was so bad, but I think it was made because I think there was one of his teammates that he wanted on his team or something that he just felt like he had to get him. So that's what he did. Make it happen, Mike. Do not let this fight fall by the wayside. Continue to poke, continue to prod. Dare I say, be a little bit disrespectful to get Conor McGregor to fight you. Because if I know one thing, when you insult McGregor, his pride makes him want to step up and take it to you. I think that might be the way Michael Chandler solidifies this fight, even though that's very out of his element in regards to the way that he usually approaches fights. Guys, the Game Time app is the #1 supplier of last-minute tickets in the entire world. The Game Time app leads the show. So whether you're trying to watch Victor Wembanyama play for the Spurs next season, or, hell, catch an MLS game, enter Miami, try to watch Messi, maybe the Game Time app can help you on those tickets. You know they're expensive now. And the Game Time app been rocking with your boy for a little bit. Download the Game Time app. No matter where you are or what you're trying to do, save money to get out and do something fun. And how about this? Use the promo code DCTV and we'll give you $20 off of your first purchase. Download the Game Time app today. Promo code DCTV for $20 off of your first purchase. Guys, now this is one that I always kind of wonder aloud about. Cory Sandhagen is fighting Umar Nurmagomedov. Sean O'Malley had things to say about that on his podcast, saying it's gangster, but is it smart? So my question to you, and I pose this to you, and I ask you to give me answers in the comments. What's more valuable in the fight game? That honor or finding the best path to a championship opportunity? Because Sean O'Malley's done that. He's 8-1 in the UFC. Fought Chito Vera. Didn't lose, if you listen to Sean, but then fought Fiorani and beat him, right? In a fight where people thought he lost. So on two sides, it's a weird deal. But Sean O'Malley finds himself in position A to challenge Aljamain Sterling for the championship belt. Sandhagen can really solidify that next shot if he gets through Nurmagomedov. But O'Malley doesn't believe that that's the action that he should take. While he respects it, he doesn't think it's the smartest decision. He said because you could fight the toughest fight for the biggest reward, but you could also be a better businessman. Thinks that Sandhagen could have been a better businessman in regards to getting his opportunity without Nurmagomedov. So what is the path? Does it always work in the way that O'Malley says or the way that he's done it? Or do you sometimes have to go through that fight with Umar to get to the championship? And then what if Umar wins? Then what? What does that do to the division? Especially with the champion saying he's going up to 145 after this fight. For the division to be as good as it is, I think it's the best division in the UFC. But there's so much on the line in this little quad of Aljo, O'Malley, Sandhagen, Umar. You forget about Merab Dvalishvili, who's the #1 contender. If Aljo goes up, Merab's in a title fight. What if Umar wins? Meaning if Aljo goes up after keeping his belt. Sean O'Malley wins. Winner of Cejudo versus Chito? Or is it the winner of Sandhagen versus Umar? The division is full of questions. But for me, when it's a division like this, a division that's so dangerous, how do you navigate it? Is it the way O'Malley did? Or is it the Sandhagen way? Where you go through Chito and then you fight Umar and say, hey, I'm undeniable. I want to know. Y'all let me know in the comments, like, what you think. What's the path to a championship opportunity? I got to know. Last thing, Ilia Topuria said Paddy Pimblett is not relevant anymore and he doesn't need to fight him. I agree. After his interview the other day, when he talked about Michael Chandler, and he talked about all these guys, he's become interesting. Very rarely does a guy become interesting when they're fighting on a fight like he did on a fight night in the Apex. It's hard to really break out. Ilia did that. One mistake. Ilia, love you, love your fight style. I think you are a future guy that will challenge for the belt. But he comes out and says he'll finish Volk in a round. Hey, I understand poking and prodding the bear. But when you go to the third round in the last fight against a guy that comes in not with any of the credentials that Volkanovski has, that's a very big comment to make. Felt like he did everything right up to that point. I think that was a bit of a miss. Can't say you're going to finish one of the greatest fighters of all time in a round when you couldn't finish the fight in a round last weekend. And while he did have a fantastic performance and does look the part of a future contender, I believe that Ilia has a little bit of work to do. But trust me, my guy, you're doing everything else right. Continue to win in the way you are and continue to call them out because that works. But for guys like me, the guys, the talking heads, that was the only misstep. Say you could beat the champ, saying you're going to finish him in the first round after going 3 last weekend, seems a little bit of a stretch. Guys, until next time, like, subscribe, tell a friend that DC's got a YouTube channel, and I'm constantly dropping great content. Till next time, guys, peace.